Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I'm Scott. You're in the Prog Corner, where today we're going to be talking about a really obscure prog collective called the Samurai of Prog. Boy, that's a terrible name. These guys got started by Marco Bernard, an Italian dude living in Finland. He was working with a magazine called Colossus. And they were working with a French label called Musea on some themed albums, some different, stories that were going to be set to music. And at some point, Marco enlisted the drummer, Kimmo Porsti, who is a Finn, and he's outstanding. He's been on every Samurai of Prog album ever since. And the third member, Stephen Unruh, who you guys probably know from Unitopia or Resistor or his solo albums. That's the core three, but there's so many different musicians that flow in and out. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Some real stellar big names have shown up on the Samurai of Prog albums. They have a brand new one that just dropped that I absolutely adore, which is the reason for this video. And they have another one coming out after that, about a month from now. But I'm going to rank the 16 Samurai of Prog albums. Some of them have featurings and, different kind of nameplates to them. But these are the 16 albums Prog Archives considers Samurai of Prog albums. The first two were primarily covers albums. I'm going to rank them anyway because there was some solo or some original material in those albums. But anyway, we're going to start right now with number 16, their first album from 2011 called Undercover. This is almost entirely cover songs. There's a couple little original pieces. They do the Lamia from Genesis. They do Dogs from Pink Floyd, Starship Trooper, ELP's Jerusalem. The main three are joined on this album by John Davison from Yes, Jonas Reingold and Roine Stolt from the Flower Kings. Very cool. At number 15, I'm going with La Tierra from 2020. This one was called a Bernard and Porsti album, although it falls within the umbrella of the Samurai of Prog. This one's all in Spanish, and it just, to me, just didn't really hit the right notes. Ariana Valdiviri and Marcelo Escurra do all the singing. This is just not a good album. Stephen Unruh's on here, but only on violin. But there is a 30-minute track. The title track is cool. I do dig it. At number 14, it's the second album from 2013, The Secrets of Disguise. And yeah, again, mostly covers on here. They do three-piece suite from England. There's going to be an England connection on their next album for sure as well. Dancing with a Moonlit Night, Gentle Giant's Aspirations, Time and a Word, Singing in the Glass Guitar by Utopia, Rush's Jacob's Ladder, King Crimson, One More Red Nightmare. On this album, Mark Trueck from Unitopia, John Davison, Fido Xavier's on here, and Robert Webb from England, playing on his three-piece suite track. At number 13, it's The Lady and the Lion and Other Grim Tales Part 1. Part 2 was way better. This is a really short album, their shortest album. It's like 41 minutes long. There's a couple good tracks on here. Three Snake Leaves is cool. Iron John is good, and kind of the mini epic, The Queen's Wish, is great. A lot of the usual suspects are on this record. David Myers on piano, Octavio Stampaglia, Alessandro Di Benedetti. These guys are on a whole ton of Samurai of Prog albums. Tom Scherpinzel from Kayak makes an appearance. It's all right. At number 12, Lost and Found from 2016. This is an interesting album where they took some forgotten gems from the Prog years of yesteryear. Pavlov's Dog, a song by Odyssey. And this thing is probably the most important piece of music on here is the Demise, which was a 50-minute song by Quill. Yeah, that's that band that played Woodstock. John Davison's on here. Mark Trueck from Utopia's on here. It's got some good stuff on it. At number 10, it's Toke no Kazi from 2019. Another very strange album. Like every song in this album is in a different language. You've got English, you've got Italian, you've got Japanese. I don't really understand what's going on. There's 6 different singers on this album, but there are some really cool tracks. Reality's a good song. Castle Blue Dream's really good. And La Magia e la Realtà, awesome. Good stuff. But now we're in the top 10, and all these are great albums, man. At number 10, On We Sail from 2017. What a great record this is. Some really, really good songs on here. The Ghost Written, The Perfect Black, Tigers, awesome tracks. You've got 2 guys from Unitopia helping Stephen Unruh out since he's in Unitopia. Also, you got Sean Timms and Mark Truiak. Michelle Young sings on a couple songs here. Jacob Holm Lupo from White Willow. Robert Fatale from Ellesmere. Brett Cull from Echoland. Super good album. Yeah. At number 9 from 2020 is Beyond the Wardrobe. And this is when they just started putting out so much material. It started becoming like a deluge. This one took a little while for me to get into. The songs are a little shorter here. They don't have any super long epics, so this is a real nice entry point. If you don't know this band, the longest song is Dear Amadeus and doesn't even hit the 9-minute mark. Jester's Dance is a good song. Cabane is a good song. Daniel Fault does a lot of the singing here, but you've got the usual keyboard suspects of Octavio Stampaglia, Alessandro Di Beneteri, and Ton Scherpenzeel. I'll never be able to say his name, from Kayak. At number 8, this is a Bernard and Porsty album called Robinson Crusoe. There's no Stephen Unruh on here, but this is a good record, man. Obviously telling the story of the shipwreck, and the storytelling part of the Samurai of Prague is probably their most prominent feature, and it's probably the one that drives me the most insane sometimes because they just go too over the top and they get too theatrical sometimes. This is a great record. The Endless Sea is really, really good. Island of Despair, fantastic. You've got Steve Hackett on this album. You've got John Hackett on. You got the dude from Musea Rosenbach. Stefano Galifi sings on this album. Yeah, Robinson Crusoe is really, really good. Prog Archives has this really, really low. So this is one of the records I absolutely disagree with them on. At number 7, from 2022, it's Anthem to the Phoenix Star. This is the first Samurai of Prague album that's named the Samurai of Prague, featuring Marco Greco. I guess as Stephen Unruh gets busier and busier, this Marco Greco guy's going to be picking up the slack a little bit here. Stephen Unruh is on this album, so you've got all the core 4 plus Marco. You've got Clive Nolan singing one track on this album. Yogi Lang's on here. Couple fantastic songs on here. Don't Be Afraid, an 11-minute track that's really, really good. Behind the Curtain closes the album out. 14-minute song, fantastic. At number 6, it's The White Snake and Other Grim Tales Part 2. Yeah, this one is so much better than Part 1. Part 1 left me feeling a little cold, and a lot of the songs were just fairy tale stuff that wasn't really working for me. This one's got the Tricky Fiddler on it. I love that track. Searching for the Fear, the Traveling Musicians. You just hear all these minstrels wandering around the countryside. Just so great. Marco Greco, like I said, is on here. Olivero Lacanina, Alessandro Di Beneteri, all the usual suspects. Daniel Fault sings on a couple songs. Fantastic record at number 5. Another Bernard and Porsty album. This one's called Gulliver. Oh, this one's fun, man. I really dig this album. Stephen Unruh is on here, so all 3 of the main guys are on this album, along with Stefano Galifi, sings on a track, Alessandro De Beneteri. Oh, man, the Lilliput Suite is so good on this thing, man. It's like 13 minutes long, and it's awesome. The Giants is a great song. The Land of the Fools. Yeah, Gulliver's fantastic. At number 4, it's Archiviarium from 2018. This was clearing out the vaults, and man, they had some good stuff unreleased. Keep the Ball Rolling is the first track, and it's really great. The Sleeping Lover, Cristalli, sung by the great Stefano Gallifi, and you get a cover harkening back to the old days of Samurai of Prague, and they picked a good one, man. Ice by Camel is on here. They do a fantastic version. Michelle Young shows up on this album. Mark Truiak, of course, from Unitopia. Brett Cull from Echolin. Yeah, what a fantastic record. But now I'm on my top 3 albums by the Samurai of Prague. At number 3, it's the Spaghetti Epic 4 from 2022. Why is it called the Spaghetti Epic 4? Well, at first I thought it was maybe the 4th album by Bernard and Porsti. It's actually the 3rd. So I guess there were 3 Spaghetti Epic albums back in the old days of the Museo Records themed album. So this is the 4th in that series, but the 1st labeled as a Samurai of Prague album. And it is so good, man. Mira al Cuore at 23 minutes long might be my favorite song they've ever done. La Resa de Conti clocks in at 20 minutes, and that's amazing. Oh, yeah. No Stephen Unruh on this album, but you really don't miss him that much. What a terrific album the Spaghetti Epic is. What a horrible name, but it's awesome. At number 2, from 2014, it's the Imperial Hotel, and this was the album that really put these guys on the map because it had a higher concentration of original music, and there was one cover on it, obviously, the Imperial Hotel by England, so you have the great Robert Webb playing on that track, but the rest of the songs were original, and they were good, man, good songs. Lemoncello's really good, After the Echoes is really good. This is a phenomenal album. I really like it a lot because the cover I was not familiar with. I knew England's Garden Shed, but I had never heard the Imperial Hotel until the Samurai of Prague did it. So it is a lot of fun going back to the old 70s version that England did and listening to how Samurai of Prague souped it up and kind of elongated it, made it even proggier if that's possible. It's just awesome. And at number 1, my favorite album by the Samurai of Prague. Yeah, it's the new one, man. It is so good. It's called The Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up. Yeah, it's about Peter Pan. All the usual suspects are here, of course. This one is actually labeled as a Marco Bernard album, which is fine. It makes sense. He's the only guy on every track here. Kimmo Porsti drums on 4 songs. Stephen Unruh shows up in a couple places. He sings on one song. He plays violin on a couple songs. But this album's amazing. Never Neverland, The Lost Boys. The Pirate Ship is so great with Matthew Parmenter from Discipline on vocals. The Return Home. And then the album ends with a song called Lunar Boy. Wow, what a fantastic record. The best thing they've ever done. I've been wanting to talk about Samurai of Prague for a while, but I really didn't have an excuse to. But with just how phenomenal this new record is, I figured I'd just take a minute and talk about this terrific band with you guys. If you like symphonic prog, you're going to really, really like this band. If you like Yes and Genesis and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and all the usual suspects, speaking of Yes, I just got my review copy of the new one, and I'm not allowed to talk about it until next week, but I will say this much. It's even better than I thought it was going to be. I'm really, really happy this morning. Anyway, I got a big day tomorrow. We're going to be interviewing Ice Age, a fantastic band who just dropped a phenomenal album. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Check in with us tomorrow for that. Anyway, I love you freaks. God save the king. Peace in the Middle East. And free Tibet. I'm out.